Hey, hi, and howdy, sweet friends. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. My name is Courtney. I am a stay-at-home homeschooling mom, and I love to hang out in my kitchen and cook. My channel, I share grocery hauls, cooking videos, meal prep, all of that sort of stuff. So if you like that, make sure you subscribe and stick around. I do want to give a big shout out to everybody who's done that. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all so very much. I've seen a lot more growth in my videos and stuff over the past couple of months, and I am so grateful for that and grateful to y'all because y'all are what make it happen. Thank you so much for supporting me. So today we're going to be restocking my pantry with mixes. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I'm super excited to get in the kitchen and get it done. We're going to be making homemade mixes, so we're not going to be having to buy ranch mix or Italian dressing mix or cream of whatever soup. So by making these, we're going to have them year round in our pantry, and we know exactly what goes into this every single time. Plus, the best part of all, we are saving money. So let's kick it off with some homemade ranch powder. I feel like this is one of the most popular mixes that pretty much everybody has in their kitchen or uses pretty often. So I wanted to make sure and include this one. So we started off with some buttermilk powder, and I got to tell you, it is a little pricey. It's like four something for that container from Walmart. However, this is great to have on hand because you can use it whenever you're baking or anything like that. Any recipe that calls for buttermilk, you just add that in, and it's wonderful because it is not as perishable as the stuff you buy in the grocery store in the dairy section. So it's really handy to have on hand. But to that buttermilk powder mix, we're going to add in a lot of herbs and seasoning. We're going to do some dried parsley, some garlic and onion powder, some salt, some pepper. My favorite herb right there, dill. I love it. I love it so much. I was definitely a little bit heavy-handed with it, and I'm not even sorry about it, y'all. I just love dill so much. And then we're going to add in some chopped chives. This is another one that I love quite a bit. I have found that there are way more uses than I would have ever thought of for dried chives in my kitchen. They're great in breads, they're great in soups and stews, different dishes, pastas, all kinds of stuff. Even potato salad, y'all. They are delicious in potato salad. And on top of a baked potato, if you haven't tried it, you've got to. They are fantastic. Of course, you got to add some salt and pepper. I'm going to say I did go a little bit light on the salt just because I always feel like the ranch packet mix is so salty. So I did cut back on that just a little bit. We're going to give everything a nice shake in our airtight container. You do want to make sure you're storing these in airtight containers. Mason jars are a great option. I've got these airtight food storage containers. And make sure you label everything and then put the directions on there. For instance, how much is equal to a package of ranch dressing, or how much do you mix with how much water to make a soup. Totally up to you which way you want to go with it, but make sure you list those directions out. All right, so here is one that I totally messed up on. Y'all, I got to tell you, if you watch my channel, we were sick. And I was making these at the tail end of being sick, and I just was not reading my instructions well. This is a beefy onion soup mix, kind of like the Lipton onion soup mix. I like mine beefy. That's what I buy because I typically use it with beef, like inside of a meatloaf or in beef tips and gravy. If you don't want it to be beefy, use vegetable bouillon. I'm using beef, again, because I want it to be beefy. And then you're supposed to add in a few teaspoons, I believe it is, or tablespoons of parsley. And I added in a lot more than that. But at the end, it turned out okay. Parsley's super delicious, so it's not the end of the world. But here's just a tip to everybody. Make sure you're reading those instructions carefully. I also added in a lot of dehydrated minced onions. Those are a great thing to have on hand in your kitchen. If you're looking for a shortcut and you're making soups, stews, taco meat, any of that, instead of having to chop up onions, just throw some of those in there. They rehydrate very quickly, and they're super affordable at Walmart. I believe one of those little shaker containers is about $1.12 or so. Yeah, they did raise their prices on their spices and seasonings, but it's still not too bad. I also added in a lot of pepper because we like it very peppery, and some paprika. And this one called for celery seed. I had celery salt because I needed celery salt for something else. So I skipped the salt in this recipe and just added in the celery salt. Super delicious. It smelled amazing. I love the way onion soup smells, like the packet mix by Lipton. Love that smell. And this smelled even better. So I'm so excited about having that one on hand. All right, on to our next mix. So I started off with some beef bouillon. We're making au jus mix, in case you're wondering, au jus mix. That one is a little pricier at the grocery store. I want to say the little packet mix is like $1 or so, which to me is a little pricey because I remember when most of these little seasoning packet mixes were like 30 or 40 cents. So to see them at $1 or more, to me seems so expensive for what they are. So we're going to make it from scratch. Super simple. Things that we typically have on hand: beef bouillon, onion powder, garlic powder, dried parsley, salt and pepper. Nothing, crazy in there. It's all spices and seasonings and things that most of us already have on hand. And just an FYI, if you're watching this video right after its release, I did buy my beef and chicken bouillon at Sam's Club. I was running low and I needed some anyway, and they had those giant containers of the Knorr beef and chicken bouillon on instant savings for $4.98. That's a steal. I think that sale ends at the end of November, maybe a little sooner. So if you're watching this and you're in the market for that, make sure you run out and you buy it right now before the sale is over. This recipe also calls for cornstarch. That's your thickener. When you make au jus, it's a gravy. So it does have cornstarch in it. Give it a shake. Make sure you label it. And you've got au jus mix. Smells fantastic. Smells so rich and really wintry and fallish. It just smells nice and hearty. And again, there I am making my label. You really, really want to make sure that you label everything. It's so easy to get things mixed up and confused in your pantry. And you definitely want to make sure that you label how much you need to make whatever it is. For this one, I was quite surprised. It doesn't look like it makes a lot of mix, but I'm going to tell you it only takes a couple of teaspoons to make 2 cups of au jus gravy. That is not very much. So this will go a pretty long way. I'm super excited about that. I love to use au jus on beef tips and on roast and things like that, just to kind of make it a little richer. All right, on to another one where I made a little error in judgment. I completely misjudged the size of my container. We are making cream of soup base mix. Now I'm going to tell you, you're going to think it's cream of chicken, but I did some research online, and the cream of chicken soup base and the cream of soup base period were exactly the same. So this is cream of soup base. I started off with some flour, and to that I added some dried powdered milk. And then to that we're going to add some chicken bouillon. This is one that does not take very many ingredients and it comes together very quickly, but it's super handy to have because you can add whatever you want to your cream of soup base. If you want to have cream of chicken soup, you're set and ready to go. You just need to add your liquids, just water, because there's powdered milk in here. Or if you want cream of mushroom soup, I'm trying some dehydrated mushrooms. I made those in my food dehydrated the other day, and I'm super stoked about that. But you could buy canned or fresh mushrooms, saute them for a few minutes to bring out that flavor, and add them in here. Or celery, same thing if you want cream of celery soup, cream of poblano soup. It's all up to you. It's just a base, so you can do whatever you want with it. Totally easy, and I'm super excited to have it on hand. And once again, I do want to remind you guys, I will link all of the recipes below in the description box so you guys can make all of these at home as well. All right, on to our next one. We're starting off with quite a bit of onion powder here. Quite a bit. I buy these giant containers from Sam's Club. I'm sure you can see most of them say Members Mark. They have the little paper seal over the top. They're so big, most of us are using them to like refill containers. So I just cut out a tiny little triangle to make a pour spout in each one of mine. So if you are interested in doing what I do, that is how I do it. That's how I make them pour so easily so I can just refill my jars. So to the garlic and onion powder, I'm adding in some oregano. And then this recipe is for Italian dressing mix. It called for dried basil. And y'all, I don't know what the deal was. I went to a number of different places and could not find dried basil. So I just ended up going light on the dried oregano and adding in some Italian seasoning, just regular old, the herb Italian seasoning stuff. Some of that in there. We've also got a lot of parsley, and I'm throwing in some celery salt. And of course, this recipe also calls for salt. I went a little light on this one. It calls for so many teaspoons, so I just kind of made sure my teaspoons weren't completely full. Or I'm sorry, tablespoons. I just made sure they weren't completely full, so it wasn't quite as salty as this can be. I've just noticed when I buy the packet mixes from the store, they all tend to be pretty darn salty. But that is it. I made all of these. It didn't take me very long. Had I not been filming, I think I could have been done in like 40 minutes max. Super easy, and I'm good to go for a while And with it being winter now, a lot of us are using these kind of things for crock pot meals. So super stoked to have these on hand. Thank you guys for joining me today. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Give this video a like just because it helps spread it out around YouTube so other people see it. And I'll see you guys soon with another video. Love y'all. Bye.